What if speaking your truth would ignite a revolution that you'd never see? Hi there, I'm Chris with a K, and welcome back to This Week in Queer History, where we celebrate queer moments and icons that I wish I had known about as a young gay kid growing up in conservative America. This week, we're looking at Karl Heinrich Ulrichs and his fight to change the unjust sodomy laws of the 1800s. His pioneering efforts helped to lay the groundwork for our modern LGBTQ rights movement, showing us how bravery in the face of defeat can still lead to victory decades later.
This week in queer history, stories told with love and glee.
Imagine being born in 1825 in a tiny East Frisian village where conformity was king and being different wasn't exactly celebrated. And Karl Heinrich Ulrichs, he wasn't one to blend in. From a very young age, he gravitated towards femininity, cherishing bright military uniforms and even preferring girls' clothing. At 14, a traumatic experience with his writing instructor could have silenced him forever. But instead, he took this tragedy and used it as motivation to inspire him to clearly differentiate between consensual same-sex love and predatory behavior. By 1846, Ulrichs had graduated from Göttingen University, and he was becoming a promising lawyer ready to make waves. But by 1854, there were whispers about his private life, which forced him to resign from his legal career. He did this to avoid scandal. But this setback, it wasn't just personal, it was transformative. Ulrichs boldly chose to live authentically over blending in and pretending to be something that he wasn't. This would set the stage for his activism moving forward. So fast forward to 1862. Ulrichs didn't just come out privately, he threw open the closet doors to his family, to friends, and he became the first person in history to publicly declare himself as homosexual, or as he coined it, an urning. His groundbreaking pamphlets, cleverly penned under the pseudonym Numa Numantius, boldly argued that same-sex love was natural, innate, and deserving of dignity. It's amazing to think how Ulrich's early views of sexuality as identity rather than behavior echoes a lot of how we believe today in our modern understanding of sexuality. But publishing these revolutionary thoughts came with great personal cost. His books were confiscated, banned, and he faced relentless persecution. But these challenges only deepened his determination. In 1867, Ulrichs made history again by standing courageously in front of 500 distinguished jurists in Munich to publicly demand to repeal the oppressive sodomy laws. His plea was passionate and extremely human, but it was met with hostility and ridicule. And still, he would not stop. He later wrote with pride that he had delivered the first blow to the hydra of public contempt. The politicians didn't side with him, and it was crushing, especially since paragraph 175 would be enacted 4 years later in 1871. And this law criminalized homosexuality throughout the newly unified German Empire. And even still, Ulrichs didn't stop. He was exiled to Italy and continued to champion intellectual freedom using his brilliant mind. He advocated for the use of Latin, and he kept publishing. Ulrich's advocacy was monumental. His creation of terms like urning and dioning and zwischen provided vocabulary and validation for countless people experiencing feelings that they couldn't yet name. His theories became foundational for psychiatrists like Richard von Krafft-Ebing and sexologists who followed, influencing their language and understanding of sexual orientation. In 1870, he bravely printed the world's first gay publication, Uranus. I know, insert gay joke here, but sadly there was only one issue that ever saw the light of day. But his approach was strategic, addressing different audiences from medical professionals to legal scholars. He was working all angles available to him, and this just shows us how smart he was as an activist. He was definitely ahead of his time. Ulrich's life was both extraordinary and painfully ordinary in its heartbreaks and triumphs. He experienced acceptance from his family despite their religious convictions, which is a powerful reminder of how love can overcome societal biases. He died in obscurity in 1895, and his grave in Italy had "Exile and Pauper" written on it. But Ulrich's legacy was anything but this. Just 2 years after his death, Magnus Hirschfeld founded the Scientific Humanitarian Committee, explicitly acknowledging Ulrichs as an inspiration. And just under a century later, Ulrich's bold steps paved the way for the global LGBTQ movement. His bravery echoes in the fight for equality and justice worldwide. Today, streets and awards bear Ulrich's name, commemorating his monumental contributions to our community. Each acknowledgement serves as a profound reminder that even solitary courage can ignite lasting change, connecting us through generations of struggle and triumph. Karl Heinrich Ulrichs reminds me that movements are not made up only of the great triumphs and successes, but instead through the long, often solitary work of showing up again and again, even when success feels impossible. Ulrichs worked tirelessly to repeal sodomy laws, and during his lifetime, he didn't see those laws fall. In fact, paragraph 175 expanded under German unification despite his efforts, but he kept going. He spoke out publicly when it was unthinkable to do so. He wrote pamphlets, and he connected with medical professionals, legal scholars, and even skeptical audiences. He was building bridges while he could and holding firm to his principles. His work laid the foundation for Magnus Hirschfeld and our modern LGBTQ rights movement. In today's polarized climate, Ulrich's story reminds me that building diverse coalitions, even with people who disagree with us on some policies, is essential for progress. It teaches us that setbacks don't erase the importance of our efforts, and that change often happens across generations. The seeds that we plant now may bloom long after we're gone. As we face attacks on trans rights, reproductive freedom, humane immigration policy, and LGBTQ visibility, Ulrich's life challenges us to keep going, to measure our progress in decades rather than the latest viral TikTok, and to find courage in connecting across differences while staying true to the dignity that we all deserve. Thinking about Ulrich's courage, I'm reminded of my own journey as a queer person living in America right now, as it is. His resilience shows me, and hopefully you, to keep speaking up, to keep acting for those that need us, and to never lose sight of the powerful legacy we're building for future generations. Thanks for joining me as we looked at the brave and bold life of Karl Heinrich Ulrich. Please put your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you think. And if you want more queer history, click this video popping up right over here. And if you want to find other queer events or icons that happened on your birthday, check out myqueerbirthday.com. The link is down in the description below. Until next time, stay strong, stay bold, and keep making history.